Hey, my Married at First Sight Australia fans. Yes, we are at the final end of the season, and we got to talk about this grand finale and the sit down with the experts. First, Dan looked like he gets his karma. There's another slip of the tongue from Tayla, and there's a possible relationship rekindling at this reunion. Welcome back to Romance Review TV. It's Lady T. Got another recap for you guys. Married at First Sight Australia, Season 10, Episode number 36, the grand finale. And without any further ado, let's unpack this final episode. So we are now coming off of that whole chaotic reunion dinner party last night, and Ollie called for some referees up in this joint. Well, look like we won't have to worry about that, Ollie, because the experts are here tonight for this final reunion commitment ceremony, and they are ready to blow the whistle on some of our couples or now singles. So, of course, we see the experts kick off the evening with a whole montage of the wedding day highlights. There are plenty of laughs. Melissa wedding day butt grab gets a huge laugh from the crowd. There's also a bunch of side eyes, notably from Bronte and Sandy, who reminisce on their high hopes that they had for their marriages. And on that note, the experts now call each couple up to the couch, and the first one is Tani and Ollie. So our best couple this season take the couch to show everyone how it's done for one final time. And then we even hear Mel ask for a relationship update, and Tani deliver an influx of good news.
Hey, you two.
Hello?
How you going?
Aww. Should we ask, are we curious, what's the status of this relationship?
The status? We are very happy. Yeah, incredibly happy.
How do you feel about Tani?
After that final vow, we did say that we love each other.
So you're in love with Tani?
Yeah, I am.
We're in love. Can I do a happy dance? And Tani, how do you see the future?
Yeah, I'm excited for the future. After this, we're going on a little holiday together. I'm going to go to Perth for a couple of weeks. We've kind of just been planning everything and letting things just flow nice and naturally.
Obviously, the long distance thing can be a challenge. Is there a move?
Yeah, there is, I'm going to be moving to New South Wales, Sydney.
Wow, there it is, people.
Make it. Got a couple of friends that are in the area, so
Okay, amazing.
Yeah, so it's daunting as hell, but there's a part of me definitely in Sydney now, and that's Tani, so you want to pursue that.
We have so much confidence looking at you now, and that your future is so incredibly bright, that you both have this attitude that means when you do come up against challenges, you're going to be open to it. You're going to tackle it together because you are this unbeatable team. And please stay in touch because we want to hear about all the babies in the future, right?
So even though we hear Ollie even admitting that whole moving is daunting as hell, but says that there's a part of him in Sydney, and that is Tani. They have since the final vows confessed their love for each other and are planning a holiday to Perth, and they are moving in together in Sydney. So of course our experts give them an A+. They want them to stay in touch so she can hear all about the babies in the future, according to Mel. So next up on the hot seat is Sandy and Dan, and they went from a whole fairy tale ending to an absolute train wreck. And Sandy and Dan are talking to the experts and are trying to pinpoint where it all went straight to crap for the two of them. Now, while Sandy says Dan never came here with the right intentions, it's hard to go past that whole butt dial scandal as a serious turning point for these two. The whole fiasco outed Dan and Hugo, for that matter, talking all of this about their wives behind their back. But in case Dan or anyone else has forgotten how it all unfolded, the experts have a nice little montage to play as a reminder. However, on this channel, we also get behind the scenes, and there is a nice little video on this channel to explain the discrepancies and the timeline of when that activity actually happened based on what, of course, Evelyn received in the text messages. Of course, the way the camera is set up, if looks could kill, Hugo would be flatlining right now because Dan is giving them the biggest, dirtiest look ever. And when John asked Dan if he said those things that Hugo is suggesting, what we saw was Dan pulling an age-old strategy, the whole amnesia card. But I will tell you, check out the video on my channel. He don't recall saying that. Something else Dan doesn't recall saying is those shocking comments prior to being intimate with Sandy. Sandy went on to divulge how he was saying things like, I don't understand why you only want to get intimate in the dark. I'm not vibing with this Sandy, and I date girls who walk around in skimpy clothes. And hearing how bad it sounds when you actually say it out loud, Dan decides to go ahead and jump in, and he stands firm by saying, no way did I say any of these things. Now, Sandy still doesn't understand why Dan continued to stay, and she worries that if it was just to lead her on, but Dan was like, no, let's not go there. Now, John Aiken jumped in and said, Dan, I've sat here tonight and been counting the amount of time no comes out of your mouth, and it's a lot. And of course, we was watching all of this last night. We also hear John tells Dan that all of the no's got to stop. It dismisses her and it invalidates the opinion. Now, my thing is it actually true? And again, I'll link that in this video. And then we have another great couple, our power couple, Melinda and Layton, the two CEOs. They get on the hot seat with the experts and they want to take a look back at how their relationship went from 0 to hero. Now, Melinda says that when she didn't feel that whole initial spark with Layton, she was a little bit let down. But Mel pointed out to the two of them as a textbook example on how a slow burn can actually be. And even Mel went on to say, although that whole initial bam moment might not be there, if you persevere and do the work, and you guys really have done the work, then you can actually get that happy ending. No pun intended. And while Mel is impressed by the work that they put in, John is particularly impressed with Layton for pushing himself out of that Mr. CEO mindset. And as for what the future for the two of them look like, Melinda was like, look, whatever happens, I just want Layton there. Hopefully kids, hopefully marriage, 5 kids, hopefully all of that. And hey, I just see him always with me and wherever we go. Next up on the hot seat is Lyndall and Cameron. Now, the experts aren't messing around tonight, and Mel questioned Cameron over last night's dinner party fiasco, which also involves Tayla.
Guys, we were watching you last night, of course, at the dinner party, and there was something that came up that we'd like a little bit of clarification on, particularly from you, Cam.
I got my dick out at a nightclub.
Oh, wow. Wow. That is disgusting.
Yes, so we understand. That wasn't my question. But thanks for sharing. What I'm actually interested in is the nature of your relationship with Tayla.
Yeah, there's nothing going on there. It was a piss take after the final vows. I got naked in the nightclub whilst my phone was on FaceTime to Tayla and one of the boys was holding it.
So, just so we can understand the context, why were you on FaceTime to Tayla?
Because I'm mates with Tayla. Just trying to dig up. There's nothing there. Like,
Tayla, how would you describe your relationship with Cam?
I really like Cam as a friend. We get along really, really well. Yeah, there's not much to it. Like, he's up in Darwin, I'm down in Tassie. It hasn't been explored yet. Not that it is going to be explored.
No.
So yeah, when Mel changed her tactic and turned to Tayla, Tayla just said, hey, I really like Cam as a friend. We get along really, really well. There's not much to it. He's up in Darwin. I'm in Tassie. It hasn't been explored yet. And everybody in that group hung on that one word, yet. And then Tayla tried to catch herself by saying, not that it's going to even be explored. Oh no, did I mean to say that? And then she comes back and say, I said that if Cam was in Tassie, then perhaps, but he's not. He's on the other side of Australia, which make it really hard. And of course, just like that, Tayla put her foot in her mouth, which confirms in so many words that she and Cam was definitely more than just mates. And then Cameron wrap it up right there, that whole disaster, by saying, I think that's where it ends, nail in the coffin. And of course, with Lyndall's suspicions confirmed, Lyndall says that Tayla and Cameron's relationship was the missing piece that made everything make sense. She leave Cameron with these strong parting words, I'm telling you to do better, and you should have done that the whole experiment to be better. So next up on the hot seat is one of my most disappointing couples, Alyssa and Duncan. And this is where Alessandra addresses Alyssa's dinner party outburst, as they also take a walk down memory lane in this experiment.
There were a lot of times where I probably shouldn't have just walked away, and I shouldn't have been emotionally charged and been able to sit in a conversation and really hash things out with Duncan and give him what he needed. And I think I am very emotional. I do regret a lot of things through this experiment, and I never wanted to hurt Duncan, and so I really am sorry. I'm sorry.
Duncan, any final words for Alyssa?
I'm sorry that it didn't work out. I truly am. You know, we're broken up, but I still want to say, like, I think that you're an amazing woman, and that you should, like, hold yourself with the confidence that you should have about yourself.
What would you like to say to Duncan now, in parting?
I hope you do, you know, find that person. And, yeah, I'm sorry.
And I'm glad that she actually apologizes. And with these two exes finally patching things up, Duncan leaves Alyssa with these parting words. We've broken up, but I still want to say that you are an amazing woman. And I think that you should hold yourself with confidence that you should have about yourself. Alyssa, I think you might have lost a good one here. And finally, Claire and Jesse. Now, this couple endured a whole cheating scandal and ended up on their separate ways. Even Alessandra said it was very refreshing to see the two exes on such good terms. And yes, we even see Claire and Jesse resting their hands on one another. Of course, like all of the other couples gone before them, they took that trip down memory lane. Although with all of the ups and downs that they have, it was definitely harder to watch. But after watching Claire and Jesse's relationship montage, just about everyone pretty much need tissues or something. And honestly, we actually get to find out what Jesse and Claire learned from the experiment.
Jesse, this experience, I know has not been easy, the journey for you. What have you learned from being in this experiment?
Well, what have I learned? Oh my God. Learned so many things. Wish I had something prepared for you.
Whatever comes to mind.
I've learnt to trust my intuition. I've also learnt that to know that I can be better. To know that there's more of myself to realise and grow into. Because I thought coming into this that I was like a good guy, you know.
Yeah.
But now I feel like I'm an even better guy.
I love that.
What about you, Claire? Any regrets?
Oh, just one. No. But I think that it's shone a light on me and my behaviours. Seeking validation from outsiders when I'm not happy in myself, maybe that's not the way to go about it. I regret hurting Jesse, and I'm so grateful for the respect that he's given back to me. You know that, you know how sorry I obviously am for everything, and I feel like the end of the event was the beginning of a new leaf, and I want to be able to continue that.
Sad.
Yeah.
And then, while we see that Claire has all of these parting words for Jesse, he has none for Claire because Claire is going to Perth to be with Jesse. And he grinned and said that with his parting words, see you in Perth. And yeah, watch this space, according to Mel. So that's going to be interesting to watch. I know there was rumors that he was out with Janelle. Now, I know this was filmed in December. The situation with Janelle was probably in the last couple months. So I guess we'll find out more details about how long that lasted with Claire. And as for these two, Bronte and Harrison, they really didn't get much of any airtime, which probably it was good that they didn't because they've been faking this entire season. In my opinion, I can't read their minds, but hey, as they say, that's all, folks. Okay, so let's get the conversation started down in the comment section. What do you think about our two couples? Will they last? Both Melinda and Layton and Ali and Tani. What about Jesse and Perth? I wonder how far that went. I guess we got to stay tuned and see if any details come out. So I hope you enjoyed this recap. Stay tuned for other recaps and updates on this channel. And until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you next time. Bye.